Alapa, and welcome to this show. The title of this show is A New Race of Men, and we're here to talk with Don Streets. Welcome, Don.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for coming, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Don's experience in the field of education, and talk a little bit about his journey with Baha'u'llah and with the Baha'i faith, and a little bit about the vision of the future of humanity. So I'd like to start with one question, just so that we kind of get into the wonder of what it is each human life. And that's really one of the points of this particular program, is to delve into a particular field. So I'd like to ask Don, if you could briefly mention a little bit of your experience in the field of education and what inspired you to go into that field.
Well, when I was all through elementary and junior high and high school, I found myself making mental notes of what teachers did, that if I were ever in the position of being a teacher, I would absolutely not do. At the same time, I've also found myself making mental notes of the outstanding things that teachers did, hoping that should I ever fall into an instructional role, that I would do some of those same things. I think it's safe to say that the types of schools that I experienced up through high school were very traditional. The public schools, our desks were screwed to the floor, the seats were screwed to the floor. Basically, teachers assumed an authoritarian role, and the role of being the dispenser of information, and our role as students was basically to memorize the information that they provided. I can't really say that we were encouraged to develop our own capacities for thinking. So I think that's the beginning, but I really didn't seriously consider going into the field of education until my senior year at the university.
So what are some of the things that you did in the field? Share with us the experiences you had.
Well, I think my route into education was rather atypical. I think most people think in advance that they want to become a teacher. They prepare in a predetermined fashion. My senior year, decided that based on having heard from one of the counselors that I could take some courses, 3 to be exact, a foundations course, basic theory course, and student teaching, that I could qualify to receive a license in education after doing the student teaching. And I thought, well, that would be a good backup in the event that I couldn't get a job in business, because I was pursuing a degree in business. And the first job that I took, although I was trained on the secondary level, was on the elementary level. The desperate need at that time was to fill classes, these burgeoning classes that were happening because of the baby boom, with teachers, and so they were willing to hire people who weren't necessarily licensed for elementary education. And so I found myself back in 1956 in an elementary classroom with no preparation, for that kind of instruction. I had student taught on the secondary level, and with the intention of only doing that for a year, and then after that getting what I would have termed a real job, teaching secondary. Well, but what happened was within a week or two of that beginning experience, I was hooked on elementary education and stayed there for 6 years before I became an administrator. So my 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 history as an educator is somewhat atypical one. I started as an elementary teacher. I then went to secondary, and within a year of having taught on the secondary level, I was appointed an administrator. At a very young age, I was only 26, and I was principal of an elementary school, and had intended to stay in that position, but after 12 years of public school experience, found myself back in school, in graduate school, working on a doctorate in education. And the thing that attracted me was that there was a program offered at the University of Massachusetts that was very different from other programs throughout the nation. The dean, the then dean there, came to the university, was hired by the university under an extraordinary mandate to take that traditional school of education and transform it, the entire institution. And part of that transformation was to involve the first year of doctoral students. We were called experimental doctoral students, in the process of helping to bring about that change. In short, he was given the mandate to create an educational revolution.